Good afternoon, everyone. And today's topic of our webinar is Downhole Tools. So we're going to be discussing how RigER is being used by Downhole Tools, rentals and service companies to track their assets. So today is March 19th, and we're pleased to invite all of you today. So today's agenda and the speakers of today's webinar are Ashley Dempsey is our software support technician who's going to be covering some of the topics. And the person, some of you who already have been with us before, may already know, is Michael Maltsev, our CEO, head of product, and the president of RigER. So today's agenda is going to cover the following topics. So we're going to be generally talking about who we are as a company, to those of you who are new to RigER. And the BelcaSoft, the main company that stands behind RigER. We'll talk about the downhole equipment types and what those are, again, to those of you who are new to the area of the downhole tool rentals. We'll talk about some of the client stories, go over the configuration. Also highlight the dashboard. So an important part of this specific configuration of RigER for the downhole tools is how to manage information effectively. I'll talk about the assemblies and operations, the field operations. The another dashboard is the important one that we're going to be talking about. We'll talk about also about the component evaluation and rework module, and make a quick conclusion about the system in general. So, to those of you again who are new to RigER and BelcaSoft in general, we wanted to give you a quick overview of what we are. So. 2019 was a busy year for us. We're now in 2020, rather well in. However, we just keep the pace of our growth and the development both of the product and our relationship with the client. So right now, most of our clients are running on the version 7.0 Oklahoma City. The new version of RigER is coming out in a couple of months. So stay tuned to see what the latest and greatest version of RigER will be. And quickly overview of RigER. We are a busy team. And we always are interacting with our clients through in-person and remote or sort of distance meetings, as well as constantly working on improvement of the product and our services. So we're glad to see those of you who are new to RigER today, and we hope that you will come on board rather soon and will start enjoying the benefits of using RigER for your operations. A special thank you on this slide I wanted to extend to all of our existing and future customers. So this slide is not to cover all of the existing customers of RigER, but only a handful because it wouldn't fit on the one slide sheet. However, special thanks again to everyone who's been using RigER for the rental and oilfield services operations. And there's always space for new clients in our growing pool of the RigER community users. So what is RigER 7.0 Oklahoma City? Just a quick overview. So there's a few modules that are core modules to RigER in general, and they can be built on depending on your specific needs and configuration. So you work in RigER and connect everyone on your team depending on what people are doing as part of the RL process. So you can do purchasing. So through the purchasing module, you can manage all your purchases of equipment and parts into the system. You can manage your vendors through the pricing and price agreements and sub-rental agreements with your vendors if you use them. Intercompany transfer is also a unique rather module because we understand that most of our clients operating in oilfield have many different yards, and the benefit of RigER is just to connect everyone on the same roof and keep track of the equipment in different locations. So intercompany transfer module allows you to manage movement of equipment between different yards. So that's another module of RigER. The biggest module by far is, and again, it just identifies the specifics of RigER, is the rental, the oilfield equipment rentals module. So this is the blue one in the middle. So you can see that you can manage anything and everything that relates to oilfield equipment rentals. We have a module that helps with HR side of management of things. That's a yellow one on the left-hand side. You can keep track of the people, times off, employee hours, employee firing certifications, as well as the rates as well. And sales module also is part of RigER because quite often equipment has to be sold, and we support that function in the system as well. But RigER is highly customizable, configurable, and integratable system in general. So again, RigER is a flagship product of the company that's called BelcaSoft. So BelcaSoft has been founded here in North America. almost 8 years ago this year. And we're a growing team and a very closely knit community of people who are dedicated to producing a solution that works for everyone in the oil field, rentals and services business. So we're proud to be nominated for several awards in the last year and looking forward to this 2020 year where we're going to be more present in the North American market than ever before. So what is RigER product family? Again, RigER is a cloud-based platform that you can access from anywhere in the world, whether it's the internet, but it's not only a cloud-based platform. You can also access and contribute to the system, connecting everyone on the team through the cloud and mobile interface for a number of different mobile applications. And the applications that we develop allow to not only connect everyone in the same environment and support information sharing, but also it's function-based. So RigER also has a number of different applications as a platform. So you can manage pretty much any kind of equipment that is used in the oilfield rentals. So from generators to telecom equipment like towers, frac flow, back and waste management tools and systems. So today's topic, however, is going to be Downhole Tools. And I'm moving right into the core part of our presentation today, the Downhole Tools specifically. So service and rentals operations is going to be the next part. And I am inviting Michael to start sharing our information about the oilfield downhole tool rentals. Go ahead, Michael, take it away.
So there are lots of different kind of equipment which should be assembled before the work, and then disassembled and inspected for sometimes the third party. So the difference and the feature of these tools that we need to assemble the tool first, use a particular parameters, particular client request terms, and then after the work we need to track the number of hours, we need to track C&D hours, and then move this to the next work, the next job. So the downhole tools are very, very broad and wide category of the items.
So some of the client stories, as we promised to you. So the downhole is a big sort of sub-industry, subset of the industry, the oilfield service and rentals. Some of the clients that we are proud to have on board that we wanted to kind of highlight to you is one of the companies is Rival Downhole Tools, a company that is out of Houston, Texas. Again, it's a drilling motor service and rentals, a business with now 3 locations operating out of Texas, more than 25 users. It doesn't include everybody who is on staff, but it's just more users of the system that are key people that run the operations. And some of the challenges that the company has had at the beginning when they were selecting RigER were identified as tracking complex assemblies and order management, as well as the field operations, including tool attributes and hours in one system. They also wanted to make sure that we can set up effectively disassembly and components evaluation, as well as rework and invoicing. So as you can see, it's a pretty wide range of issues that the company considers before making a decision of what kind of solution they use. And we're very proud to provide the solution to them and build that custom configuration that allows them now to run their operations. So basically they can enjoy the full configuration that is fit to specific needs of their business operations, and that allows them to run the full technical history of each component. And as you can see, each motor is made of a number of dozens, if not scores, of the components. So the system allows you to keep track of any of them and every of them. So they have now also dashboards, operations dashboards that are shareable between the office and the people in the field that can be the shops are located hundreds of kilometers away. Everybody's through that tool of a dashboard is on the same page and is managing information in real time, which is very time saving and cost saving, as well as insanity saving for the operations. And we also have set up a configuration for their accounting system that they use which is a Microsoft Business Central. Another client, let Michael to dive on this one, is Downhole BoL Solutions.
Yes, the Downhole Well Solutions is very interesting client. They do power blade tools for drilling, directional drilling, and we build the particular solution for them based out of RigER standard configuration and add a Downhole Tools features. The interesting result of the implementation of RigER, which we saw, was first of all they put dashboards to the screen in the shop and in the dispatch room, and they start managing disassembling and assembling from the dispatch. So it's very easy and convenient and faster. Showing the results. And the second thing which impressed me that they just removed the whiteboards from the offices because they track all the jobs by whiteboards and Excel spreadsheets. Right now, they do not need them.
Perfect. Thank you, Michael. So now we're coming to the core part of the presentation of today's webinar. We're going to be talking about the configuration overview. So go ahead, Michael, take it away.
Yeah, so one of the things which we add to the general standard user RigER configuration is a downhole section where we put all the extra catalogs and documents which we presenting today. One of the things which we need to stress here, the fleet structure set up as a three main categories: is a rental units or assemblies, components, the part of the assemblies, and consumables, part of the assemblies. And the difference between components and consumables, components are serialized and consumables unserialized. And building the different tools from components and consumables give us a full assembly which will go to the job. So we can see two different types of the rental units: the new units and rental fleet. So the new units, when we purchase as a standard configuration of RigER, like from purchase order, bill of lading, and purchase invoice, they will go to the new shop. So it should not be like a new shop in like physically. However, it could be a part of the shop or storage where you can see very new items, serialized items, but never touched. And as soon as you move them to the rental fleet, kind of for the assembly list new or from the peak ticket, or this give us a completely changing the usage of those units. So the rental fleet, which we will see in the next slide, rental fleet will have the assemblies and serialized components, not consumables. We use consumables as we move this. And when we build the new unit, we select the assembly list type new, and this become a capitalization event, the event when we recognize the value of this new rental unit item. So this event gives us kind of record to the accounting books. And another thing which we added to the each particular unit number, it's the attribute list where you can set up technical parameters, measurements, sizes, features of any item and change them as you need it. And as you can see in this rental unit number card, component card, we see 67.2 CND hours. And you can run the total CID hours report clicking the button. Those are specific features for Downhole Tools. So when we build the new item using the assembly list, first of all, at the top of the document, we select type new. We select the shop new and shop two rentals. It will move items from shop rentals and build a new rental unit at the shop new. So as you see here, we assembled the shop tool, unit number as T021, and we put different components together with all the unit numbers and assembled this stuff. And as soon as we post this document, all the consumables will be right off. All the components will be uh, right off as well. And the only one assembled unit will appear in the shop DDD rentals. Same thing happened with the pull sheet or peak ticket. There are different names for the different configurations. And the pull sheet will show you the items or consumables which you probably need to add to the rental fleet as you build a new unit, new configuration, and or replace scrapped parts. So the entire rental operations for the Downhole tool started from the client request, and we do this by rental service agreement, CTR, or client tool request, which is our main job defining document, which will show what we need to build, what we need to send to the field, and how much it will charge for this particular item. Next step is the assembly tool. So we need to build the particular configuration of the assembly which client requested. And we use parts from the rental fleet and assemble this unit based out of the client request. Next step, when we do our oilfield operations through the rental ticket start, rental ticket service, and rental ticket end. So depending on what kind of transactions we have, we can issue a new rental ticket all the time when we move equipment to the field, do some service work, swap of the unit, or add more units to the particular location. And then when we finalize everything, we generate rental ticket end and generate rental invoice after the job is done. And the next step is the tool disassembly. When we need to disassemble tool, we need to build the evaluation recap and check the condition of each particular component and select if it's good, then everything goes back to the rental fleet for the next job. If it's not good, we have several options and we will discuss that later. So the first document is a rental service agreement, and the rental service agreement is simply a list of all the jobs which we have in the system. And each rental service agreement has a particular location, has a particular rig, starting date, all kind of different internal information which we track for the jobs. And let's do yes, and one of the particular information which we have in the RSA is a CTR or client tool request, where I can set up a different parameters, technical requirements for the different rental units. So CTR settings for each assemblies give us an opportunity to select a particular circumstance or client needs for this particular job. Say, for example, hole size, all kind of different measurements and temperature, etc. So let's do the live demo. So Ashley will show you how things working on the rental service agreement, how rental service agreement and CTR works together.
First, we'll start with the downhole module at the main bar. Open our rental service agreement and create. And we'll start with our date. Set the date of the RSA. And go to our customer and our location. Okay. And then we'll set the RSA start date. And then we'll select our rental equipment. And we're going to select our combo unit that will pull down 2 associated assemblies, and those assemblies will carry their own CTR values. And here we'll set the hole size in tab. And if we don't see it here, we can select from the catalog, but that's the one we want. And our numeric values. Another drop-down list. And once we complete all of our values for our CTR, there's our plate size. Select HPW, and I'm going to change the seal kit to high temperature. Yep, okay. Check our work. We're going to save and then post. We'll get our green check mark. Okay, and then don't forget to set your RSA to active and then post your progress. And we just created an RSA.
Perfect.
Yes, so thank you, Ashley. After this, when we build all the rental service agreement, we put them together to the order management dashboard. So the order management dashboard show us the all incoming jobs, the assembly priorities, the client team for assemblies, and CTR details. Usually the order management dashboards we use for set up the sequence of the assembly of the units, and we understand which one we need to build today, tomorrow, etc. So let's move forward and see the live demo and of the order management dashboard and show how the rental service agreement, CTR, and assembly list works together. So
Sounds good. All right, sounds good. So we'll first start going to the downhole module on the top bar and select our order management dashboard. And you'll see that you can select filters by department. So we're going to show the rental department. That's what's currently in that department. Okay, we'll clear that and sort by rig. Okay, let's say we need to find something, a tool specifically, and we only know it by the rig number. They called in and they need to change something. So we can see here, yes, that is the correct, that's the wrong setting, excuse me. So now we're going to go change the setting using the order management dashboard. So here we can double click and open the associated RSA and go into the CTR settings. And we're going to change the max flow rate from 350 to 400 and post the progress. And then we can refresh the order management dashboard and see that that has indeed changed. So you can also clear and then show all basically at that point, and then sort by client. So we want to only see anything from Stone Creek and clear that. And there's also other filters. You can filter by open or signed or active or sent or approved. So let's look at approved. So now we'll only see orders that have been approved. And we're going to clear our filter by using that X box. And anything inside of here you can double click on and go to. So if you need to change something, this is a wonderful dashboard to use. Also, if you think about this, you know, most computers have secondary monitors, so you can imagine this on a secondary monitor on the wall. It's a 55-inch, or you could even use a projector and put it 20 feet back and have an 8-foot wall. So the options are out there. So
Yeah, talking about order management dashboard, it's widely used on the monitors, the big screens showing. And another good thing about order management dashboard, each user can set up a particular columns which they'd like to see. Say, for example, the guys in shop, they can set up everything and they don't care about, for example, location, rig, client, and RSA. So they will see only items that they need to build and what kind of client requirements we have right now for from coil size, for plate size, all kind of different ODE, etc.
So true. Yep. Very customizable.
Yeah, the next step is the assembly operations. So, and how we will build the assembly operations through the assembly list. It's pretty much the same thing which we just discussed it when we build the new unit. When we build a unit for the job, we can do some adjustments, and we have changed type of the assembly units to assembling, and assembly list to assembling, and then we start building the next rental tool for the next job, using a particular components and using a particular modules of the put quantities, and if necessary, we can add a note for each component, and this note will be visual down the road when we will do the disassembly.
Perfect. So now we've come to the first part where we are going to be taking some questions from you guys. So I wanted to let you know that there is a way for you to submit a question at any moment in time. So we are going to be answering some of them right now, and some also at the end of the presentation. So there's always a way to answer a question if the question is asked. So there is a control panel. If you move your mouse right there to the bottom of the screen, there's a Q&A icon and a button. So you click it and then you can type it up and we'll receive it live and we'll be able to answer your questions live. And the first question that I have right now that I wanted to ask Michael and Ashley is, can I customize the CTR parameters?
Oh, for sure. So you can go into, I don't know if you saw it briefly there under the downhole module on the left bottom side. It's CTR settings.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go inside there. I don't know if we have a slide for that, but you can go in there and create new items and then set the appropriate catalog of drop-down options. You can also set it as either a predetermined drop-down catalog of options, or you can set it as a numeric only value, as you saw earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Talking about settings, you can set up the catalog parameters. Moreover, you can set up a different sets of catalogs for different items. For example, starter and rotor could have different parameters which you need to enter. So it's very customizable, and moreover, it's up to the user how they'd like to set up this and how they'd like to use what's important for this item, what needs to be entered to be more precise, to be more accurate about a particular tool we built for this client request.
And on a relevant note, there's another question. It's about the attributes. So again, the assumption is, can I customize attributes as well?
Oh, for sure. You can add up to 5 different attributes for the unit. You can add attributes for the unit, and you can add attributes for the unit number, which is a little bit different. For example, you can have a particular unit with the model, but within the model you can have like a different version of this module or edition. And based on that, you can have different parameters for each particular unit number. And we call those parameters attributes.
Mm-hmm. Perfect, thank you. So there's another question. Is there an option to track regular surface equipment and this kind of software configuration?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't see why not. It'd be...
Definitely, yes.
Customer technical requirement can be very broad and specific at the same time. You could select anything from that and create catalogs to suit. Customizable is a keyword.
Okay.
Everything's good.
Yeah, that's good. So thank you, guys. Just to make sure that we're moving along as planned, I just want to move to the second part of our presentation. And just to remind everyone who's with us today, there is going to be an opportunity to ask your questions or type them up anytime you have them. We'll be able to answer them at the end of the webinar as well. So let's just move to the second part.
Yeah, the next step is the field operations. The field operations done by rental tickets delivery. We can set up the particular time and date when we move the unit from our shop to the field. And this is done by rental tickets, and I'd like to ask Ashley to do the live demo. So we will have the rental ticket start or delivery presentation.
Thank you, Michael. All right, so let's go deliver some equipment. First, we'll go to our downhole module, go to our rental service agreement, and open our RSA. This is Oilfield Rental. First, we're going to start with our date. Yep, good. Now we're going to generate our delivery ticket. We're going to start it. It's technically called a rental ticket. We're going to start with our date for the rental ticket delivery. Set that to the 9th and 0 hours. And then this is where we change our type from pickup to delivery. It was pickup by default because there's already something on location to this client. Okay, we're going to verify and change our shop to our South Texas staging yard and change our field tech. It's going to be driving a DWS1. Okay. And move on down to our rental units. We're going to select our unit number from the location, South Texas staging area. This is our downhole tool. Now we're going to select our shock tool. Okay. All right. At this point, we save and post. We know we post. We get the green check mark. And we just delivered our equipment on site.
Yeah. So the next step is the return equipment from the field, and Ashley will show us the rental ticket end.
Sure. So once the rental is complete, we got to go pick up our equipment. Let's go back to our downhole module and our RSA. Find our RSA for Synergy and generate our rental ticket. And by default, it will be pickup. Let's start with our date. We're going to set it for Friday the 13th. Change rental period, yes. 0 out. Our time, type is correct. It is pickup. Okay, shop, field tech, check our work. Okay, now we're going to select the units that we're going to pick up. That's our 25 and 16. Okay. And now we're going to select the result when we pick it up. So we've got 3 different options: clean, dirty, and LIH for lost in hole. And we're going to select these for dirty and select our in date and out date for our units. And this will determine automatically, you'll see at the end there, the C and D hours, and that will get tracked later on. Okay, so they pulled it out on the 12th. Okay. I'm going to save and post. Make sure you get the green check mark. Good deal. Okay, we just picked up our equipment. Now let's go verify and check our work. So we're going to set our date on our unit number dashboard to the 14th, the Saturday after we picked it up on Friday. And we can see that shock tool 16 there is set for disassembly. So we know we did everything correctly, and document posted successfully. So we're ready to move on to the next step.
Perfect.
Yeah, the next step is the invoicing, and there are several ways how you can invoice downhole operations. Some of the options could be a rental fee when you charge per day using starting and end date. So as we see here, we have starting date as February 16 and 19 and 4 days. This is our rental invoice. Or another option would be a flat fee, and it will be the next slide where we can see the service invoice. And the service invoice will have like the entire fee per job, flat fee. So here we have a downhole tool flat rate and a downhole job setup fee. It could be delivery fee. It could be a downhole tool lost in hole fee. Hopefully not, but sometimes happen. And then when invoice is ready, we can send this invoice to accounting system. So the next step is the disassembly of the units, and to do that in a more efficient way, we use a disassembly dashboard, which show us all our items and the statuses of those items. This is an example of the disassembly dashboard. You can disassemble a unit by one click, and this dashboard designed for the guys in the shop. They select and set up the priorities. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 till 11. The sequence how we need to disassemble units, and this sequence can be changed by manager because we can have ongoing jobs, and we need to proceed service a particular unit faster than others. And at the right side, you can see all the components and unit numbers for this disassembling, and definitely we track C&D hours for the entire unit and for each component of this unit. So this gives us a full history of component C&D hours, and we can see the list of hours for each component, and make our decision about future use of the component based on the number of hours tracked. Let us show you the disassembly dashboard. So Ashley, please show us.
All right. So we start with our unit for disassembly. Go to the downhole module. Go to assembly list. This is the long way. I'm going to show you the long way first. So we go to create. First start with the date. I'm going to set it for the next Monday at 8 a.m. Okay. And then we're going to change our type to disassembling and select our shop. It's going to be DTT rental. Select the rental unit and then our specific unit number to disassemble. Okay, that's our unit 25 right there. Select that one. Okay, now that that's selected, we can fill out automatically based off the unit number. There we go. Or made it a little bit easier. Now with the Tools Disassembly Dashboard, you can find your unit number right there. That's DHT 67525. You click on it, same components. All you got to do is double click this button right here, and it creates the disassembly assembly list. Let me open this up a little bit so you can see it. Yeah, so there you go. You can double click on it. It'll open, and it also created our evaluation recap. Okay, so let's go into our disassembly list, and you can see all the components are in there. For that is our unit number, and it's already posted for us. So we just disassembled that unit and created the evaluation recap for it 2 clicks. So double click. All right, back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Ashley. Yeah, actually, this demo showing the power of the dashboard. Yes, you can go through the long way and put the like a step-by-step assembly disassembly list, and you can just double click on the particular unit number, and disassemble list will be generated automatically. Moreover, as Ashley just mentioned, we have automatically generated evaluation recap, where we can set up the condition of each component.
Yes.
So evaluation recap, which we can see in the next slide. So evaluation recap will show us all the components of this unit, and we see the link, the hyperlink to disassembling list, and we can set up a condition for each unit. As well, we can attach the third-party inspection report to this evaluation recap, so you can have a cross-reference as a PDF file for the third-party inspector conclusions. After that, you select the conditions, scrapped good, for review or rework. So in this case, we have almost all in a good condition, so they will return to the rental fleet, and one as a rework, which we'll consider in the rework module. So the starter will go for rework. And right now, I'd like to pass the mic to Ashley to show us evaluation recap and secondary engineering review, which give us like a secondary opinion about a particular component condition.
That's right. Thank you, Michael. Okay, so we'll go back to our Tools Disassembly Dashboard. That's our unit number. And then we will go to Downhole module, evaluation recap. And here, we'll go down to the bottom. This is the catalog of all of the evaluation recaps. That's our unit number. That's our evaluation recap 40. Let's start with our date. Yep, it's going to be that 17th. And then correct unit number, check our work. Yep, all the items are here. Shows all the items by model. Got the unit number, and the associated attributes. Okay, so conditions column. So first, this one's good. We're going to say that, I'm not sure, pretty sure it needs to be fixed. I know it needs to be fixed, so I'm going to select rework. Okay, these items are good. Just verifying once the tool is disassembled, we're going through and just verifying these parts are good. Okay, so now this one, I'm not sure, so I'm going to set that one for review. The rest of them are good. So now we're going to save our progress and post. Okay, now upon posting, this second engineering review is generated. Okay, so second engineering review is waiting for the third-party inspector to come and open up the review and go through it and verify it. So let's go ahead and we'll go to the Downhole module again, and we'll select second engineering review. Okay. Oh, just hit play for me. There we go. Okay, and we'll go and select our engineering review. And this is the part that we wanted to verify. Okay, so he's verified it's good. If it is not good, then it would be scrapped and removed from inventory. Let's set our date, very important. Should have started with that, and post it. Okay. Now this item will go back into inventory. And there's your last but not least, we go back for review, and we can actually set the specific vendor if we'd like. So, and then we could post our progress. And so that tool, that component will go to K&G Supply for rework. And I'll pass it back to you, Nikolai.
Good. So right now we come to the rework module, and I will give you a brief overview of the rework. It's a standard module in RigER right now. So the rework is a third-party repairs of the units. Usually it could be a machine shop, refacing, recutting for the downhole tools, and you can set up this particular service for the work, a particular rental unit, and particular unit number, and set up the price for the rework operations, and issue PO for this particular machine shop. After that, you generate bill of lading out for the rework and move your unit number to the machine shop. You track those transactions, and you see here the date and time when it happened. So after that, the status of the item move from rework to rework, and we can. Next step would be when we return items from the machine shop. Again, you enter these as a new document, bill of lading in, and it can be done manually based on bill of lading out. So those documents are connected. And the final document will be a purchase invoice, where you can set up the purchase service and quantities and price for the rework based on the PO. And to speed up this process, we built a Rework Dashboard where you can generate all the PO for the vendors. You can generate bill of lading out, and you can return units by one click, as we saw in Disassembly Dashboard. So Rework Dashboard is a very convenient tool to manage all the rework transactions.
Okay, thank you, Michael, and thank you, Ashley. So we've come to the closer to the end of the core presentation, and here's the time to ask your questions. Again, as we mentioned in the middle of this webinar, so there's a way to type the questions right there at the bottom of the screen by clicking the Q&A button, and the questions will magically appear on my screen. I'll be able to read them out and ask our panelists today. So go ahead and type up your question. We understand that this is it is rather a high level overview of a very sort of detailed configuration and a very specific and unique configuration for the downhole tool companies. And so we tried to kind of explain as much as we can in a simplest way possible and give you an overview how the system works when it's set up. I do understand that there may be no immediate questions on the system, and you might need to have a little more time to play with the system or make it see that. So that's why we invite you to reach out to us through the website or through an email that I will get on the screen, and we can actually schedule a personalized and custom demo if need be. So feel free to do that as well, because sometimes you may have questions when you dive deeper into the system, and we can guide you through that presentation in a one-on-one fashion, if you will. So right now I don't see any questions. So Michael, unless you have any additional comments, I would like to move to the next slide, just for the sake of time saving, and we are getting closer to the end of this presentation. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Just one more comment about the entire configuration and why our clients are switching from the dashboard, the whiteboards and Excel spreadsheets to the dashboard. First of all, as you saw, it's a very highly data-driven operation. So you have lots of small details and lots of small items to track. For example, you need to track all the components. It depends on the assembly. It could be from 10 to 40, maybe 50 different pieces of the equipment bolted together. Each of the piece of the equipment should have a unit number, should have a history of CAD hours, and circulating and drilling, if you're not familiar with these terminologies of circulating and drilling hours. And it's very, very complex when you try to do this in Excel spreadsheets. So if you have those issues, feel free to reach out, and we'll show you how RigER can help you with your Downhole Tools tracking.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Michael, and thank you very much, Ashley, for the detailed presentation today. Again, I wanted to make sure that all of you who's with us today and would like to get a little more hands-on presentation and a personalized presentation, feel free to go to our website, RigER.us, and fill out a book a demo form, and we will get back to you. We'll get back to you immediately and schedule the convenient time and show you the downhole or any other configuration. So the Digital 2020, again, it's a special announcement that everybody's now moving into the digital oil field, and this is a good time for many businesses to take a to take a look at what the operation looks like right now and move from the standard but not overly efficient whiteboards and Excel spreadsheets, and move along with the pack of the companies that you're seeing on the screen into a more digital way of managing your operations.
Yeah,
so,
despite of the today's challenges, we see this is a good opportunity to think about optimizing your operations, think about moving to the digitalized world, because first of all, it will save time, it will save money, and keep you in business. Because after that downturn, after that turbulence, we will see a bright future, but unfortunately, it will be only for the digital and the paperless operations.
That's so true.
Or maybe not, unfortunately, but for us, it's just yeah.
for us,
Well, it's a very good point. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much again, everyone who's joined us today for this presentation. We're looking forward to seeing you next week. We're going to be talking about the RigER Academy and how to get a how to sign up and learn a little bit more about RigER in a sort of self-paced environment. So stay tuned, and you'll get a notification and an invitation. Thank you very much again, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you so much. Yeah, talk to you later.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.